week I am joined once again by my sister.
Hello everybody, hi!
And we haven't made a video together in a long time, but since our last video making, she actually made a channel, so I'll leave a link to it in the description and also on her face, so that way you guys can go subscribe to her if you would like. She's also featured on my channel, so at any time, if you miss any annotations or anything, you just go onto my channel and subscribe to her. So today, we decided that we were going to be sharing our back to school tips, because we did a similar video to this called concert tips.
Yes.
And that one got a pretty good response, so we decided to do a back to school tips video. And we are both in college. She's a master's student and I'm a bachelor student, so
holy crap,
we know quite a bit, I think, about school. So we decided to share those tips with you. So we have 5 tips to share with you guys, and the first one is to take everything one day at a time. And what we mean by this is don't sweat the small stuff.
Definitely make sure that you're just focusing on that day alone. And I know that can be hard when you have an entire year stretching out in front of you full of exams and papers and extracurricular type stuff, but the most important thing, and I know this is true for my experience so far, is just to press pause and say, I'm just going to focus on what I have to get done today as much as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean don't plan for the future. It just means that it's most important for you right now just to focus on living this one day.
Yeah.
And I guarantee, because I experienced it and I know you did too, it will definitely make you feel better and much calmer.
And I know for me, like, on the first day of school, you get so overwhelmed, especially in college. Like, they give you this syllabus. I know they do it in high school too. But they'll give you this syllabus, just outlines the entire semester or year or whatever you're dealing with. And for me, I get very overwhelmed very easily, and I start to think of projects and stuff that I don't really necessarily need to be worrying about until midterms or finals. So something I like to do is just kind of like to, as the semester goes on, then I enter the things in my planner when they're due. Because I know people that will enter the entire semester's worth of work into their planners, and you don't want to do that, because every time you look ahead in your planner, you're going to see this project is due that day, that project is due that day. Not only is that kind of not smart, because a lot of things gets changed and moved and switched very often, but that's also going to just make you overwhelmed, and you don't want to be overwhelmed. You want to be relaxed as you possibly can be, and just focus on the things that are like right on your horizon that are actually coming. So like if you have a paper that's due in like the 3rd week or something, that's what you want to be focusing on, and not that project with the PowerPoint whatever that you know is for the final project. You want to be focusing on the stuff that's like right in your face, and then it'll like help you to be a little bit more calm about it, even though it can be pretty stressful. You want to be a little bit calm about it. And our second tip is, and I know this is a hard one for me, and it's focus on your grades, but don't obsess over your grades. And for me, I am always obsessing about those little percentage points or that one little point that I missed or whatever. And the thing about it is, and the thing I try and tell myself is, years from now, no one is going to remember that you got a B in math.
No one's going to remember that you got an 89.5 and that the teacher just didn't round it up.
Yeah.
None of that's going to matter. So don't allow the A or the B or the C to define who you are.
Yeah.
Because even if you're good in school, it's not who you are. That A or B is not your identity.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like Hannah was saying, it's just a mark on a paper that in a few years, maybe even sooner, no one's really going to ask you about or really care about.
Yeah.
So definitely get a good self-esteem boost from getting an A. You know, feel good about it.
Yeah.
Feel good about getting a B, but do not allow that to define who you are, either for the positive or the negative, because there's so much more to you than that. That actually segues really well into our third tip, which is to take days off, which is so important. Even if you have to literally write in your planner, put in your phone, whatever you use, that you are not going to do anything pertaining to school on that Saturday, do it. Because one, you deserve it, and 2, you're going to get burnt out. And actually, I was talking to Hannah about this tip when we were putting these together.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we both had in common was early on in the semester, like right before midterms, we'd be pumped. You know, we'd be moving. We'd actually want to do the work, you know, because we were so excited. But the problem is we put all of our energy into it. It almost became an obsession that by midterms and after midterms, we were exhausted because we had literally used all our energy and hadn't given ourselves any days off.
It's very important, because I know for me, I get really burnt out really fast, and then that leaves me like not really putting a whole lot of effort into my midterms and finals. Obviously, I'm still working on them and stuff, but it kind of is just like, forget it, I'm just gonna go watch Stranger Things. And the thing about that is, by time midterms and finals get to you, you're going to need all the energy you can muster to finish those and end the semester strong. And I understand starting off the semester strong, but you also want to finish strong. So just like a race, you want to start strong, you want to finish strong. So make sure that you're taking those days off just for like mental health.
I was just gonna say, when you were saying that, kind of reminded me of the Olympics. You know how the runners literally sprint across the finish line? I'm not saying we can all be Usain Bolt, but I am saying that if you notice, they pace themselves at the beginning and then they really put in the effort at the end. So you want to run over that finish line at finals as opposed to dragging your weary, exhausted body as much as you can across the finish line in the hopes
Which
that
was me last semester.
Yes, in the hopes that you at least don't fail, because that's the goal.
Yeah.
Don't fail.
And making sure that you're having those like Netflix and Hulu days and just like relaxation days where you pamper yourself a little bit. Doesn't mean that you're slacking or anything. No. It means that you're taking time to realize, okay, right now my brain needs some rest. I need some rest. Yes. And physically and emotionally I'm tired. So I'm just going to take today. I'm going to relax. I'm going to watch whatever show, read whatever book, draw, paint, whatever you like to do.
Call up your bestie.
Exactly. And just take some time and relax. Because relaxation is so important. It's good for your mental health, especially in college. Like, your mental health can get so beaten down in college.
That's true.
And especially if you're working as well, that can be so hard from like working full time and going to school. I went through it. We all go through it. And you need that time. Like, maybe you want to stay up a little late and you want to watch a show, and it's okay.
You want to go out and see the Hunger Games and eat hamburgers with your best friend.
Yeah.
You know, we actually did seriously do that. Yeah. Do it, by all means.
We did that. We went and saw the Hunger Games, and I know we saw Harry Potter during school and things like that. So we really took time and just focused on making sure that us mentally were okay, because the best you are mentally is the best you're going to be academically.
That's
true. If you
true.
are good mentally, you're going to be good academically. So getting rid of that anxiety by really just taking some time to yourself is going to help you academically. It might not seem like it by watching that Netflix show you want to watch, but it actually can help you academically if you're mentally okay. You'll definitely see a difference. And our fourth tip is use a planner.
Do it.
Yes.
And you know, we were talking about this before too. Hannah was saying that she'd rather have a physical copy planner. I'm the same way. We both have planners that we write down everything in. But also, I've known people too who use their phones or use their
that
computer.
Works for them.
Just make sure you have a space where you can sort of dump out of your brain everything that's due.
For me, if I don't write it down, I don't remember it. And just by virtue of it written down is also a really good thing. And also, with that, color coding is very interesting and very important, at least to me. I don't color code my notes as much as I color code the classes in my planner. So I have a color for each class, and I use that pen color the entire semester. So when I automatically look at a class that says test day or whatever, I know that class that color's for that class. For example, last semester in the spring, I took a American Sign Language class, and my code color for that was pink. So I knew automatically when I saw that there was a test that day or a paper due that day or something happening in my ASL class that day, that the pink means that it's ASL. Yes. So that really helps, because you can just look at it at a glance and be like, oh, that's ASL, oh, that's Britain history or whatever, and you know automatically what's due for what class and when it's due. And having a planner is just, it's so helpful, and also you can decorate it, make it pretty if you want, and I know I got really interested in planner too, so.
Oh yeah, well, and along with the colors as well, something that I've noticed and that Hannah kind of started talking about, she talked about like pinks. I usually use blues, and the reason for that is, for some reason, and it's psychologically true as well, the color red tends to signal anxiety. So if you're someone who is already anxious and stressed about school and the amount of work you have to get done, if you do the color coding, which works, I highly recommend it, like Hannah said. I recommend it, yeah. If you do that, just keep in mind you want to use calm colors, because if your brain can associate a calm color with something important you have to do, it really does work. Psychologically, I feel better about it if it's even green or light pastel blue.
I never use black, and I think it's a reason because I see black and I just think, you know,
deadlines.
Yeah, exactly. Deadlines, stress, this and that. And if I use pink or blue or green or yellow or orange or whatever color, you know, other than that, like purple, I used purple for a long time, that can just make you feel better about it and just be like, oh, that's no big deal. Get some cute pens and some colored pens that you can use. I know for me, I love the Inkjoy gel pens for my planner.
Yes, they're awesome.
So if you can find those or find something similar that you can use that just makes you feel good, then you're more likely to want to do your assignments if they look nice, at least for me.
No, that's
if they
true.
look nice, I'm more likely to be like, okay, I can do that assignment. And number 5 is try to self-motivate and keep yourself motivated. And for me, this can be really difficult, even though like I was homeschooled quite a bit growing up. I find it kind of hard to self-motivate. And so what I try and do is I try and be like, okay, I'm gonna reward myself. So if I finish this assignment or if I read this passage, I'm gonna go watch that show that I wanna watch or listen to that music I wanna watch or listen to. I mean, no, you don't watch music unless you've had too much coffee. Have that relaxation or be like, I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna go out with Leah or I'm gonna do whatever. And I know people say, don't reward yourself, don't do all that. But for me, it actually really, really helps because I'm like, okay, then I can get this done and do that.
Yes, exactly. And allowing yourself, like we were kind of saying earlier, just allowing yourself to have fun, allowing yourself to have the Hulu binge or the Netflix binge, allowing yourself to do the fun things keeps you mentally sharp and it keeps you relaxed and it helps you be better academically.
Yeah.
And it also does help to self-motivate. And another part of self-motivation we were talking about is we usually lose motivation to do things when we feel like we're just spinning our wheels.
Yes,
and I think
we've
really
all
been there. And it's true of any grade level, whether you're in middle school, high school, or even college. Like if you can try to find the end game, try to find something that you feel really passionate about. And it doesn't have to be academics. It could be maybe something outside of academics that you do, like extracurricular. And it doesn't even have to be part of a program. It can just be something you enjoy doing. If you take time to do that and prioritize it along with your homework and all the other stuff you have to keep up, you can sort of self-motivate and you'll feel less like you're spinning your wheels and not going anywhere and more like you're actually getting somewhere.
There is this like kind of, I feel like, grand myth that's like you get to college and you have this purpose and you know exactly what you're gonna do. And to be honest with you, 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to be switching your major, not really knowing what you want to do. And I think that that's part of the growing process. I have switched my major so many times. I started out in music and then I decided I was going to do just liberal arts. I have one of my degrees in that. And then when I got my bachelor's, I was like, oh, I know I'm going to do motion picture. And then that turned into not something that I decided I just didn't want to do. And so I switched to communication. So, you know, you're probably going to change and you're probably going to move on, but that's how you grow.
Yes.
And that's how you change. And that's how you evolve as a person. It's something that you really need to embrace. And, you know, evolving, life is ever evolving. Life is ever changing. And change is good. Embrace the changes. Don't be hesitant to change. So those are all of our back to school tips.
Yay!
And I hope that you guys liked it.
Yes.
If you did, be sure to give it a giant thumbs up. If you want to subscribe to Leah, be sure to click on her face. And if you want to subscribe to me, I'll leave the link on the screen.
Yes.
I think right around here.
Oh, on me.
And then, like below her. And then, if you are on mobile, be sure to click that subscribe button so we can be notified every single time I post a video, which is every single Friday. So, with that, we're gonna go and prepare for the back to school struggle because
we can do this. We're gonna make it.
Yes, we can do it. And I will see you guys next week with a brand new video. Okay, bye.